Good morning, children. I am Gitanjali Khare, and you are welcome to my maths class of grade 3. And the chapter which we are going to do today is Time Goes On. In this chapter, children, we will learn how to see time and other related activities. I hope you will enjoy the presentation with me. Let's start. In this slide, children, you can see a clock. All of you are familiar with the clock. What do we do with the clock? We see time with the clock. And in this picture, you can see that in a clock, you have two hands. The longer hand is the minute hand, which tells us the time of minutes. And the smaller hand is the hand of hour, and it tells us how many hours have passed. So children, have you understood and if you know about a clock? Now children, let us understand about a clock and how do we see time in a clock. In this slide you can see there are 12 numbers in a clock. We begin from 12 and we reach back to 12. That means we have how many numbers in a clock? We have 1 to 12 numbers in a clock. Then how do we see time in a clock? First, let's begin with the minute hand. The minute hand is the longer hand and it tells us about the minutes. So children, can you see the red numbers which are written outside the clock? These are the minutes which we see in a clock. Now let us understand about these. Now let's begin with the first number, children. When the minute hand or the longer hand reaches 1, we say 5 minutes have passed. Then when the minute hand moves ahead and reaches the number 2, we say that 10 minutes have passed. When the minute hand reaches 3, 15 minutes pass. When it reaches 4, 20 minutes pass. When it reaches 5, we have 25 minutes, and when it reaches 6, we have 30 minutes. So, what do we understand by this, children? That when we see time in a, we follow the table of 5. See, when it reaches 1, we have 5. When it reaches 2, 5 twos becomes 10. When it reaches 3, 5 threes becomes 15. And when it reaches 4, 5 fours is 20. Similarly, 5 fives will be 25, 5 six are 30, 5 sevens are 35, 5 eights are 40, 5 nines are 45, 5 tens are 50, and 5 elevens are 55. And when the longer hand reaches 12 again, we see that 60 minutes have passed. So, when 60 minutes pass, or when the minute hand completes full one circle from 12 to 12, we say 1 hour has passed. And then the smaller hand, which shows us the hour, reaches forward by one number. So, let's revise again, children. The longer hand shows us the minutes and it follows the table of 5. From 5 ones are 5 to 5 twelves are 60 minutes in one complete circle. Now children, let us understand some terms which we use in a clock. Now these two terms are to, past, quarter and half. Now first let us see the picture of the clock on your left hand side. Here you can see two colors, children. The yellow color we have written past, and in the green color we have written to. What do you mean by that? When the minute hand moves from 12 to 6, we call it as past, and when the minute hand reaches from 6 to 12, we call it to. Now let us understand this again with the picture on your right hand side. See children, when the minute hand is on 12, as you can see on the top, we call it o'clock. It can be 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock. And when the minute hand reaches 3, can you see there children? The minute hand, when it reaches 3, we call it quarter past. What do we call it? We call it quarter past. That means 1/4 of the clock has passed. And when the minute hand reaches 6, then we call it half past. Then when we move from half past towards 12 back again, then when we reach 9, we call it quarter to. As I explained to you before, that on your right, that is from 12 to 3, we call it past, that is quarter past. When it reaches 6, we call it half past. But when we move ahead from 6 back to 12, we call it 2. When we reach 9, it is called quarter to, and when it reaches 12, we again call it o'clock. But now, since 60 minutes have passed, now it becomes another number. For example, if we began with 2 o'clock, now the time will be called as 3 o'clock after we pass from quarter past, half past and quarter to back to o'clock again. So in this way, the minute hand completes 60 minutes in one complete circle and 1 hour passes. Now children, let us revise. You can see on your left hand side, the minute hand is at 3, and when the minute hand is at 3, we call it quarter past. And when look at the picture on your right hand side, here the minute hand is at 9, and this will be called as quarter to. So again look at the clock on your left hand side. Here the small hand is at 1, so we call it quarter past 1, and on your right we call it quarter to 7. So children, have you now children, in this slide you can see 12 clocks, and each clock has a different time, and you will have to draw these clocks in your copy and write down the time shown here. Now let us understand first 3 of these clocks. Now in the first clock you can see the minute hand or the longer hand is at 8. And children, what is 5 8s are? 5 8s are is 40. And the smaller hand is at 9. So we call the time as 9:40. Now look at the next clock which is shown here. In this clock you can see that the longer hand is at 2. And what is 5 2s are, children? 5 2s are is 10. And since the smaller hand is at 5, we call it 5:10. Now let's understand the third one. Here the longer hand is at 6, so this is half past, and the smaller hand being at 3, this is half past 3. So children, do this in your copy. In this slide children, you can see so many types of clock. See, look at the first clock which we now don't find anywhere. This is called as vintage clock. Now you can another see a clock which is called as a cuckoo clock. That means when the shows the time, especially of o'clock, it gives us the sound like a cuckoo. So it is called as a cuckoo clock. Then you have a table clock to which you keep it on your table. Then you have a character clock. What do you mean a character clock? See, here some cartoon is made and you can see a clock on its belly. So this is a character clock. Then in the next line you have an alarm clock. Then you have a digital clock. Here you don't see 2 needles, minute or hour hand. It just shows you time in digital. So children, you can draw these clocks in your copy. Now children, see, this is a puzzle for you on time. Now let's read out the puzzle. Yasmin reads a book for a quarter of an hour. You know children, we just now read a quarter means 15 minutes. That is, we finish 3 numbers on a clock to complete 15 minutes. So let's read out the problem again. Yasmin reads a book for quarter of an hour. That means Yasmin reads book for 15 minutes. Now let's read the second line. She began at the time shown. That means she started reading at the time shown. Now children, let's find out what is the time. Can you see the bigger hand, the longer hand? The blue one is at 7. That means 5 sevens are 35. That means 35 minutes. And what is the time the small hand at? The small hand is at 1. The time is 1:35. Now let's reach out 15 minutes. When the minute hand will reach 8, 5 minutes will pass. When the minute hand will reach 9, 10 minutes will pass. And when the minute hand reaches 10, 15 minutes have passed. And children, what is 5 tens are? 5 tens are is, so how many minutes will we call this as? We will call it 50. So from 1:35, the minute hand reaches 10 and now it becomes 1:50. So what will be the correct answer, children? The correct answer will be the third one, where we have written 1:50. So children, have you enjoyed this puzzle on the time? Now let's do one more puzzle on time, children. See, we have a calendar here. Now this calendar is of which month? It is February. And February is which number in a year? It is the second month in a year. That means whenever we'll write down the date, 2 will come in the center. Now what is the date shown in the calendar? It is 7. And what is the year? It is 2008. So what date it is? It is 7/2/2008. Now let's read out the question. The question says, what was the time 4 days ago? And children, ago means days before. So we have to go back 4 days. Now let's go back 4 days. We go back as 6, 5, 4 and 3. So 4 days ago it is 3. So now what date it will be? It will be 3/2/2008. So now which will be the correct answer, children? The fourth answer, where you have written 3/2/2008, will be the correct answer. Have you understood and enjoyed the puzzle, children? Now this is the third puzzle for you, but this has been already done. So what you have to do, children, that in your copy you have to draw this calendar of August and write down the question and the answer, which you can see on your left hand side. So what was the question? The question was, what is the date on the third Wednesday of the month? And the answer is, the third Wednesday of the month is on 18th. You can see the calendar, children. Now children, let us come to another part of time. And as you know, 7 days make a week. So when we begin a week, it begins from Monday. That is, Sunday is a holiday and we begin the week from Monday. So from Monday to Sunday we have 7 days, and these 7 days are called as 1 week. So let's read out the weekdays: Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday and Sunday. Children, you have to write down all the days of the week in your copy and learn the spellings from Monday to Sunday. Now children, after learning about a week which has 7 days from Monday to Sunday, let's go on to an year. Year means 12 months. So when we read about the year, we read about these 12 months. The year begins from January and the year ends at December. So now what you have to do is write down all these 12 months and learn the spelling. So let's begin with the first month, that is January, then February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November and December. Now children, this is a worksheet for you on the months of the year. See, there are 3 columns here. You can see last month, this month and next month. Now in the middle you have to write down this month, and you have to write down the previous month which is gone in the last month, and the coming month in the next month. So let's begin with the first one, children. See here, in the next month it is written December. So next month is December. That means what is this month? This month is November. And which is the previous month? It will be October. Why? Because October comes before November. Now let's do the second one. Here it is written August in the next month. So if it is August in the next month, what is this month? This month is July. And what comes before July? It is June. So in last month you will write down June. In this month you will write down July. And in the next month you have already written down August. So in this way, children, you have to complete this worksheet in your copy and submit in the Google Classroom definitely. In this section now onwards, children, we will learn about national festivals of India which we celebrate in different parts of the year. Now what is a national festival? A festival that whole of India, that is your nation, the whole of India celebrates together. So now let's begin with, this is the first national festival. What you can read here as Happy Independence Day. And when do we celebrate Independence Day? We celebrate it on 15th August. So 15th August Independence Day is one of our national festival which you have to draw in your copy and enjoy. Now children, see, this is the second national festival. What you can read here? Republic Day of India. And when do we have Republic Day? We have it on January 26. So 26 January is another year date when we celebrate Republic Day of India, and this is also a national festival as the entire nation India celebrates it. Now to continue, children, we have the third national festival which is called as Gandhi Jayanti. What do you understand by Jayanti? It is the birth date of Gandhi Ji, and Gandhi Ji was born on 2nd October. So October 2, Gandhi Jayanti is another national festival which we all celebrate together by remembering the teachings and values which Gandhi Ji taught us to keep us happy and the society in general. So children, learn all these festivals. Now children, this is another festival, a very important festival which you all enjoy every year on 14th November. Yes, what is this day? This day is Children's Day. And children, do you know why do we celebrate Children's Day? Children's Day is celebrated on birthday of Jawaharlal Nehru. He was first Prime Minister of India, and his birthday is celebrated as Children's Day because he loved children very much. So 14th November. Now this again is a day which we celebrate every year on 5th September. Now what is this day, children? Do you remember? Yes, we celebrate 5th September as Teachers' Day. And you know children, why do we celebrate 5th September as Teachers' Day? Because this was the birthday of a very famous teacher, Dr. Sarvepalli Radhakrishnan. So his birthday is on 5 September. So 5th September, children, every year we celebrate as Teachers' Day. I hope children, you must have enjoyed this presentation on time. So now children, try finding out time in the clock which is there at your home and write down with the help of your parents, and also learn the weekdays, the month days and the different national festivals.